I want to make sure we hit on proximity because I want to go there, and then I want to go kind of step into the impact of it and more the emotional tie within organizations and some of the work that you do. I've got to hit the fifth on proximity.
So proximity bias, as it sounds, it's we overvalue that which is closest to us in close proximity. That's, I think, just a biological product. Like we grow up in these small little units called families, and that's where we learn how to love and how to be of value and how to be valued and how we're seen, heard. Everything comes from that close proximity. For years, that that's just how we designed and organized this thing called work, right? We organize not only work, but like society built around this notion that you have home and then you have office and you had this thing called a commute. And that was in the BC era. That was in 2019 BC, before COVID. We now live in a different era. And proximity bias, it's become more I think detrimental because we still think in binary terms. We're either, close or far. We're either on or off. We're either this or that, or we're male or female. Like there's so many different binaries that we live in a world that is incredibly non-binary. Like there's so many different gradations to things. There's so many different nuances to things. And our brains are working overdrive to try to get caught up on that. And when it comes to proximity bias, when you and I finish this recording, when we finish this session, 6 months from now, you and I may be somewhere in at a park or in a meeting, in a conference room or wherever, and our brains will have no recollection of whether or not this conversation took place in person or whether or not it took place through this magic of this virtual world that we find ourselves in. And so I think with proximity bias, the real trick is to remove distance from the equation. And when you do that, you're able to create incredible engagements, whether they be in person or through some type of digital medium or digital tool or video conference or whatever it might be. I mean, I think it's you have to override that initial instinct that we must be in close proximity in order for it to have value.